good evening. How are we doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing some new stuff tonight. So you'll have seen, obviously, we're doing the Southampton to Salisbury Wessex Main Line route, which has been in development now for a good few months. You'll be seeing on the website that the in-dev entries pop up every month or so, bringing various new bits of information and pictures. So we thought it was time to actually show a bit of it. So we're going to show you a section of the route. We're not going to show it all because one, it's not all complete yet, and two, we want you to come back and see more, obviously. So that there is some stuff that's complete that we're not going to show tonight. That will be for another stream, which can be sort of self-contained in itself, to be fair. So rather than bombarding you with everything in one hit, which is, in my opinion, pointless because you'll listen to it all in one go. We'll do that again. The other bit that I won't be showing will be the Quidhampton section, which is a little extension from Salisbury down to the little freight terminal down there. I think it's a China Clay area. I'm right with that. I think I'm right saying that. I've got all the information which I'm going to go through anyway as well during the stream, covering bits and pieces. We're doing I think it's a semi-fast potentially, but if it's not, we'll stop at the stations, have a look around anyway. So, if there's anything you want to see along the travels on this trip, let me know. I will jump out of the cab, and we'll have a little explore. I'll probably spend most of the time, to be fair, on the external view anyway, so you can actually get a good look down at the route. So, just let us know if there's anything that's caught your eye you'd like to see. More than happy to stop and have a look at it. Good evening, Adam, Prof, Round Knight, Aaron, Merseyville Banana, Andrew Gray, AMR Valk, good evening. Well observed, it is half 7, I am here. Joseph Dawson, good evening. Robo, good evening. Who else have we got? Underground Gary, good evening. If you're just watching in the background as well, good evening. Martin, good evening. Grab a Bovril, good evening. Good name, I like that name. I love Bovril. Also, good evening to Willow, good evening. So as you can see, we're going to be taking this Class 150 and 158 combination on a Cardiff to Portsmouth work, I think it is. I think it's 1 Foxtrot 07. I'll double check the head code in a moment. It's about a 45-minute drive, but by the time we've obviously had a look around and everything like that, we should be all good. Is the Restream bot working? I have no idea. Let me just double check on that. Rexy Plays, YT, good evening. Everything was connected. I checked before if everyone was connected. It apparently it is working. So I don't know where the comments are, but it is connected up because I can see people are viewing on there. So I'm not too sure as to why chat is not coming through, which is a bit bizarre. Yeah, it's definitely connected, so it should just feed the chat through. If there's anyone here watching on YouTube, can anyone just type something in the chat just so I can see if it comes through or not, and then we'll know before we get started. Evening, Matt Cook. There, up there, I can see it. James Shepherd test. This is working, so I can see stuff. It's working. It's just woke up. Yeah, sometimes it can be a bit iffy like that. I mean, if it doesn't come through, and you don't obviously hear back from me, I'm not ignoring it. It's just probably something's not worked. Or you can always swap over to Twitch or Facebook or whatever. But it seems to be working now, so we're all good. Chris 3705, good evening as well. Evening, Ubica. Rexy Plays, good evening. Thank you for the follow as well. Matt Cook's here. Len's here as well. Good evening. Right. So yeah, I'm going to take this service through up to as far as Southampton this evening. So we're going to be giving a good run. It's 45 minutes, as I say. And yeah, we'll just have a look around, show you bits and pieces as we go. So, hello driver, the signaller has brought you to a stop on the approach to Wilton Junction. So set up your train and get underway as soon as the signal allows. Have fun. Okay. So, we are sat lovely at this nice new VMS. It's a VMS. I nearly said ILS. It's not. It's a VMS. So these are new to the JT Common Library. There's a small batch which have been made for this route, which has got the lovely LED cluster on there with a little side I think they're coacting LEDs on the right hand side. To be fair, because basically what they're doing is showing the same aspect. So it's if visibility is poor, you can see the little bulbs on the right hand side. Essentially, I think that's the way it works. When this route releases, will it be on Steam? It'll be on our website. I believe it will go onto Steam as well, although it won't go straight onto Steam because it'll then have to go. It'll have to go to DTG. They'll have to check everything over, make sure everything obviously fits their needs in terms of any branding, licensing, and all that jazz. Just basically they check things over, make sure everything works, and they're happy with it before they put it on sale. So it'll go on our site first. And then it could be any time after then. It'll go into a queue as well, basically. So once they're happy, they will release it. I mean, if you take for example how long it can take, Hope Valley is not on Steam yet. I don't think. Am I? No, it's not. Hope Valley is still due to go onto Steam. So I'm just double checking on that. Hope Valley. No, it's not on there yet. So yeah, Hope Valley is actually in the queue to go on there. There's stuff been happening with Hope Valley to go onto Steam, so people that are waiting for it to go on there, there is stuff occurring. It will get there eventually. It's just it has to go through a process with DTG. So it gives you sort of an idea how long you could be waiting for things to go onto Steam. So sometimes we do recommend, obviously, if you really do want to get it, grab it off the website. You get more scenarios and everything as well. You get on-hand support as well, and yeah, and you get points as well. Points make prizes and all that. Right, so let's get this set up. I think that's the right way around. Probably not. Oh, it is. It's the right way around. Excellent. Signal has just changed. Just gonna put the head code in, which is 1 Foxtrot 07. Signal is 60, so I'm just gonna put 060 on that. Evening, Baz. Right. I'll set ourselves up in this little area so you can see what's going on out the outside world rather than the cab. Who made the scenario? Jack. So the route's been developed by Jack Hales. Those will probably know Jack under the username of Chief Jack. So yeah, he's been building this route now for a good number of months. You probably have seen the route before. You'll have seen it, obviously we have streamed the route on my personal channel before, and we have done videos on our YouTube channel. But since then the route has changed massively. A lot of stuff has happened since then. So yeah, it's literally a whole new look of the route, from track to assets, and just more scenery as well. There's been a lot more in terms of the way scenery has been done. This is Wilton Junction. Somewhere around here is Quidhampton. I think it's behind the trees. But we're not focusing on Quidhampton this evening. That will be for another street, basically. No, Jack does do scenarios. He's made a number of scenarios elsewhere before. Yeah, he does do stuff. But no, he's building all the scenarios for this route, as well as doing the scenery, assets. He's doing most of the assets. There is some assets coming from just trains on this, as well. But yeah, we have a few bits and pieces coming for him. We're doing via our external asset creator, Eastleigh, and then some other assets along that way. I think St Denis Station's getting a brand new model, because that didn't have a custom model on the base Southampton to Bournemouth route, so that's going to be coming as a full custom. Southampton Airport, that's another one that we will be providing, I believe. And then you've got all the complex at Eastleigh works as well, so there'll be all sorts of sheds and all that sort of jazz. So as you can see, we are just approaching Salisbury. You can see the cathedral just in the distance there. British Ace Joe, good evening. How are we doing? Also, Jake, good evening. Jack did do some stuff, I believe, for DTG's Leeds route. Yes, I think he did a couple of them. Evening, Lewis. British Ace, not a problem. I think, yeah, there's been a bit of issue with chat on YouTube, so if anyone's been coming from there, apologies. I've not been ignoring you, just some of the chat doesn't seem to be working, but yeah. If you are watching YouTube and you are talking and I am not seeing your messages, come over to Twitch or Facebook and make yourselves known. I'm not ignoring you, it's just chat doesn't seem to be coming through. So I do apologise. So as I say, this route is still work in progress. Us doing a preview tonight doesn't mean it's getting released next Tuesday. There is still a lot to do. It's just we thought we'd put something new into the channel rather than doing all the same stuff over and over. This hasn't been shown on the stream yet, so I thought time was about right to do so, because this section through to Southampton has all the scenery in place now. The only one thing that isn't quite finished is Salisbury Station. However, there has been a number of bits and pieces done to it this last week. But do note that the station and model is still work in progress, so there is some gaps on that. But plenty to see. Evening, Mr. Powell. How are we doing? Ross, good evening as well. Not a problem at all, Rex. So it's 20 coming into Salisbury Station. You see there's plenty going on here. You've got depots and all sorts over there, maintenance sheds, carriage wash. Not to mention obviously the big station here. So there's plenty to see and do already. The route only, I believe, requires Southampton to Bournemouth as the base route. I don't think anything else is needed. Common Library comes with the route from JT. I think that is it. Literally, that is it. J Luke, good evening. How are you? George Beanie as well. Hello. Good evening. Cheers, Baz. I will pass on the kind words. I think Jack might be popping into the chat at some point. I was hoping he'd be on the microphone, but he's not available to do so at the time of the stream starting. So we're going to probably do a future stream. Maybe start it a little bit later, and then we'll get him on the mic, because I think he's available from like 8 o'clock. So we'll probably do a future stream from like 8 o'clock just so we can get him in. But yeah, we'll take a quick look around. I'll pause game. There's plenty going on. You can drive into these depots as well, and you can stable your trains in here. There's all sorts going on. Uplifting jacks and stuff like that. It's Jack's put a lot of work into this up to now, as you can see. So you get your 159s, is it? 159s here. So that's what's stable down here. Not sure if anything else does any stabling around here, but obviously mainstay is South Western Railway units. JBML, good evening. Thank you very much for the follow. You've got fueling point here as well. And then you've got all various wash facilities down here as well. So you can do all sorts. You can get a good shunt scenario going down here. You can do all that. That's it. It's all been thought of. Plenty for the player. So yeah, other than just ignore some of the stations not quite there yet. Obviously, everything you see is still subject to change, but there is all sorts going on the front side there as well. There you go. Evening, JBM. How we doing? Right. So you'll see if you are watching on Twitch, every so often Nightbot will throw up a link. So if you've not up to date with the in development blogs, there's a link that will pop up. You can find it on the in-dev page on Just Trains as well. But there's about every month a new development feed goes up, and that lists all sorts of new stuff that's happened on the route. New pictures will always follow, and new sections of information regarding the project will be fed out as well to you. So the route itself, although it's listed as 33 miles on the site, it has slightly changed. It's now 36 with the extension to Quidhampton. That originally wasn't in the actual plan as such. That has now been changed. We had a few people ask about it. The decision was made to add that in. It made sense, to be fair, for freight opportunity. The route, it is set, I believe. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if it's set somewhere around 21, 22. However, I know Quidhampton shut down a bit beforehand, but we've made it so it's at least accessible. Slightly overgrown, but it's usable. We thought having it in there and not usable is a bit daft, so it's been put in there anyway, because I know people would like to make scenarios from there. So it made sense to have it. But yeah, the route itself in general is about 21 sort of time. Yeah, the platform on the bridge, where are we? Yeah, so this the bay platform extends out over the road there as well, as you see. Little gardens on the back of it as well. Not being picky, but the train wash needs a drip tray. I'll pass it on, see if anything can be done. I can't promise everything will be done, but I'll write that down. And I'll just pass it on, just see if anything can be accommodated. I'm always happy to relay any feedback, and if we can do anything, of course, even though we are at this stage, we're nowhere near end of development, so things may be able to be done. This is what these are all about as well. We can take feedback on board and act on it well in advance. Not a problem, thank you. I'll pass that over. I've made a note of it already, so I'll put the picture with it. Got to tell me someone's going to work on a new 165. That'd be nice. TS really does need something. Right, so we're going to take the line to the right here. And this is Salisbury Tunnel Junction. So I believe the route to there goes over to Andover. I think, is it this way to West? God, I can't remember which way goes to Westbury. There's one of them goes towards Westbury, and this is Laverstock South Junction. So I'm just going to show you the map quickly in general. So obviously this is an extension to Dovetail Games' Southampton to Bournemouth. It won't just apply onto the top of the original route. It'll make a new version. So basically it'll make like a clone and then have this route on top. But you do get Southampton to Bournemouth track and everything in there, because obviously you'll have that route anyway, so it'll still be there. So you could essentially drive from Bournemouth through to Salisbury if you wanted to. the focus obviously on the full route. You got see where my mouse is here. So obviously Southampton is here. St Denis was here, which was the original terminus of the DTG route. So the route came to us without Eastleigh. Originally, it came to us just as this section and Salisbury, and then we put forward to Jack about the doing the round parks. Obviously, it makes sense to do the full loop for the service. So that adds on from the Romsey section through to Eastleigh, back round, and then you can do the circular. Good evening, Jack. How are we doing? No mishaps. So what we're going to focus on, obviously, we started at the top here. We're going across, and then we're going to take the route down, and to here. We'll feature this section essentially when it's done. It's not finished yet. There's no scene on them sections just yet. I don't think it'd be too long, to be fair, before scenery does start going into them sections, because everything else has scenery. Hopefully nothing will go wrong. So as well, if you've got any questions, Jack is in the chat, who is the developer of the route as well. Fire away any questions, I'm sure he'll get back to you as well. I've got some bits as well to send over to you, Jack, after the stream as well, so I'm making notes. Southampton docks, now, you've got the original set which was on the DTG route here. There is track at the minute down here, but I don't think this is coming as part of the route. I'm not really sure what's going on with that at the minute. Whether it comes later on down the line, I'm not too sure, but at the moment it's not the focus of this route. But at the minute, no. Expertly shown, yes. Scott's wording was absolutely perfect. So I'm going to stay in this view because you can see everything that's going on. You can see the scenery, which is what it's all about. Harrison Sell, good evening. Thank you very much for the like on Facebook. Also, Destruct Tank, thank you as well for the like on Facebook. That's it. It might not. It probably won't be in the initial release, but there's nothing to say it may not come later on down the line. You never know whether something could be done. That in itself would then need more custom assets making, and they're not in the scope of this route. There's a lot of stuff already being done. Hey up, Rob, how are we doing? Good evening. Chris McBride as well, thank you for the like on Facebook. Also Ethan Roberts, good evening. How are we all? So next station for us is Romsey, but we will pass through a couple of other stations on the way, and we'll take a look at these as we pass them. Midday 59, good evening, and also Daniel Dawson, thank you for the like over on Facebook. Hope you're doing well. Nigel Penn, thank you for the like as well on Facebook, good evening. Just as well shows that you do get a mixture of freight on this route, so it's not just passenger workings. So on the route as well, it'll bring obviously a number of new stations, which are in total 8. So you get Swaveling, Southampton Airport Parkway, Eastleigh, Chandler's Ford, Romsey, Mottersfont and Dunbridge, Dean and Salisbury. I reckon that's London Gateway to Bristol. So we'll have a look. Southampton to Wentloog. Lewis Hopton, thank you very much for the like on Facebook, mate. Appreciate it. In the bag. Geek Motto Gaming, thank you for the follow on Twitch. It's very busy tonight. Glad to see so many people have made it to have a quick look at the route. Good to see the interest that's there. So again, with the route not being available yet, it's of course in development. You can follow the in development blogs, and you can also sign up to the emailing system to alert you once the route does release in time. It's still a way off yet, but you can get yourself on there. Geek Moto Gaming, right, I've got you. So we're coming up towards East Grimstead as well. So set of sidings there. See the levels of detail that Jack's gone to on here, but garden detail and stuff like that. There's plenty to see, and there's also little cameos and stuff like little street scenes where you can get your screenshots and bits and pieces like that. So there's loads of little quirky views that you can go. It's still got a signal connected to it, hasn't it? I think as well. Ian, hello. You're only half an hour. It's all right. We're not there yet, so you'll still see something. A little fly up here. So you can see this is Grimstead here, which obviously is in a very derelict state. Was it Dean Hill with the signal? Right, sorry. Obviously, ain't many trains going in here. Actually, no, there is a signal. There is a little one. There's a ground one. It is actually Dean Hill with the actual normal aspect type of signal, isn't it? The ground frame. Clever. It's literally a kit bash. It's all the point levers from the junctions all put together. So each one will connect. It'll actually work for each set of points. So they've all been moved over here, which is really, really cool and clever. So yeah, you can still play with the actual points if you wish. I was looking at the extremely southern region prefab. Oh, there's a few of them on here. There's a few of them dotted about. No, Basingstoke won't be included on this route, Nigel. Southampton to Salisbury and Quidhampton will be included. 36 miles of route in total. Adding onto the Southampton to Bournemouth DDG route, that is a requirement. It'll make its own route entry into this in your route list when it comes out, but it'll have Southampton to Bournemouth on there as well, so you can drive through them both essentially. So we're still in there. Last use was 2012, so it's pretty recent then. No, we won't be doing a return this evening, no, just going to go one way. so I can just get down to the station. So you can see again, there's another one of the new fancy not ILS, VMS. Get these right. I'm so used to our routes having the ILS signalling. I'm not used to saying VMS. But no, these are the ones that have been done for the route. I've actually seen them the way they work yet. There you go. It's the first time I've seen pictures of them, but it's the first time I've seen them actually in game operating. So very cool, very nice. And this, I believe, is Dean. So we'll have a look around the station. As you can see, all the street side details. So there's loads of little opportunities for your screenshots and places to sit and watch. Speed on this section currently is 85. It varies on the way out of Salisbury, and again, you get speed drops because there's junctions along the way up further up. So there's a small variety of different speeds to look out for. Again, if there's anything you see or anything you'd like to show me to show, so I say, let us know. I'm more than happy to stop off and give you a little tour. Any feedback, pop it in the chat. We'll make note of it. Jack's here, so I'm sure it'll be taken on board and things can be looked at if needs be. That's what these streams are about. That's why we sort of do show things a little bit earlier on sometimes as well, because it always helps. These ones are a new. I think these are actually quite a small change to the crossings of what we had. A new blueprint was made, so we've got a longer arm on one side and a shorter arm on the other. We didn't originally have this type, so a new bin was made up to sort that out, utilising the level crossings that we had done at the time of doing Nottingham to Lincoln. So there was a new type there. So just another little feature and little small detail there. Mabot 24, thank you very much for the follow. Good evening to you. Farm scenes. Ah, glad to hear that, Rexy. Excellent stuff. It's Blakey time, thank you for the follow. Good evening. Dean Hell, yes. Let me have a quick pause. Is that here? Oh, hang on. Yeah, is that this place here? Is it this little sort of interesting place here with all these little bunkers? I forget what this is called. Jack will tell me. The siding's coming up. I don't think I've seen the siding yet, have I? I forgot what that place is though. I've lost my train now. Where is it? Ah, there. Yeah, there we are. Look. That small bit of track has the signal, and it's not connected. It's absolutely bizarre, that is. I thought it was the other place that we'd looked at before, but no, that is just utterly pointless as to why you keep that small bit, unless it's easier to keep the signal and that hit in place in case it ever had to be reinstated rather than in including another signal to the system and stuff, maybe. Even though obviously the point where it's gone, you still have to lay a set of points. But yeah, it's weird. And obviously, you can see the length of what these signs once were. Which I think, was this MOD? This? To the base. Royal Navy Armaments Depot. It's a mouthful. Yeah, Jack's got a good eye for detail, so he'll ensure he's got as much detail going on there as possible to get that scene looking just right. So the bunker stored weapons, and even nuclear ones. Wow. Scary. So along the route, key features just to make you aware of, which you might have seen these already, but I'm going to read them out. So we've got Southampton Airport, we've got extensive yards in the depot at Eastleigh, Romsey Junction and signal boxes. The Royal Naval thingy midget, what we've just been talking about at Dean, that's again one of the features of the route which is disused. You've got East Grimstead Quarry, which is disused, Salisbury Cathedral, Laverstock South and North Junctions, Tunnel Junction at Salisbury, Fisherton Tunnel, Salisbury T and R SMD, and also Quidhampton Quarry, which is listed as disused, but it can be used. It is usable. So this is Mottisfont and Dunbridge. Some interesting little bits of signage going on here as well. Different car stop markers and stuff to do with door releases and stuff like that. Obviously, there's nothing exactly in TS that does all that sort of stuff, but the detail is there in the signage. Same over here. There's all sorts. Reminder of your DRA, and same again with the local doors and stuff like that. There you go. Plenty of little scenes that you can stop at and grab a photo along your way. Any cost ideas yet? No, nothing at the moment. We'll drop all that sort of stuff nearer the end when everything is in play. At the moment, it's too soon on really to put all that out there. A pub? Yep, you can do a little pub crawl here. You can drop off here and just fall into the bell over there and grab a pint, and then pop on the next train and go to the next pub. Yeah, plenty to see again. It goes all the way up here, so yeah. Again, plenty of detailing. No worries, Jap. No, you've seen something I've not seen. Foliage uses the stuff from Southampton to Bournemouth route, so it keeps it in line with that route. Obviously, consistency. Would you think a Class 92 would haul 3,000 tonne on its own? I have no idea, fluffy kittens. Try it. Maybe go downhill. Had a full miniature railway in there as well for munition moving on. Yeah, there's a guy here watching the train. He's either waiting for trains to go past or just stood here watching. I think, yeah, we're not actually now that far from Romsey, a couple of miles. almost at the next station stop. So essentially what happens is this, I think there's a service that does Southampton to Salisbury, and it comes along, goes around the top, around to Southampton, and back up, so it literally does a full loop and then goes back off again. So it made sense to have that in. Any spots with the tripods out? I don't know. There may be. I mean, we've got our own tripod in the common library which we can put into scenarios, so there could be the possibility there might be a spotter somewhere. Who knows? Put that out to Jack. To Romsey, Salisbury via Eastleigh. I'd love to see a Red Hill to Tunbridge line in TSC. Yeah, I don't actually know where that goes through, to be fair. It's not my area of expertise, unfortunately, down that part of the country. I'm just trundling into it, just so you can basically see everything that's going on. And we are stopping, so there's no point racing through to the station. We'll have a look around again in a second. Just so we can have a look what's going on. There's plenty of street scenes to see here and have a look at. Even some traffic lights down there. We should have the road now because I think we've just been waiting for that unit to cross over. Right, let's go back over here and make our way through just to take a look at what's going on. So, plenty of industry around on the approach into the station on this end. Again, with all sorts of bits of scenes going on. Oh, is it approach control? Right, okay. Even someone sat on the side of the wall here. Yeah, it's loads to see. And there'll be bits that I probably haven't quite noticed, but we'll find them along the way again, even on our future drives, and we'll be able to point bits and pieces out. But yeah, you get the gist of what's going on so far. So moving through, we've got little streams going through down here, a little walkway. Old issue siding there as well. Yeah. So we've got the station obviously here, and there is actually something really nifty I'm going to show you. Is it a canal? Is that what it is? To duck your head. I don't know, is it? Oh, it's a stream. Yeah, you're getting no boats through there. Oh, there you are. There's a little traffic light scene. Right, so down to the station there is, obviously here. I'm going to show you something in a second which is really cool. there's a little visiting centre somewhere down here. It's got a little bit of track in there, and all sorts of signalling. So you can come and have a little visit. Don't think there's any trains going by, but you can pop down here and have your lunch. It's cool, really cool. I think there's another little thing like this as well, down at Eastleigh, and there's another sort of technical centre there, which is the tracks are there and the signals are in the area, but obviously the scenery's not there yet. But there's another little like training thing like this in the same sort of style. Evening, Whammy, how are we doing? Evening, Electrostar. Signal box is coming. Is the signal box? Where does that live? I have no idea where that is meant to live when it comes. So, oh wait up, Jet's put a link into it. Wants to see the link. Right, I'm with you. So it's is that to go here then? Is that in that location where that box is at the present? So you can actually go. That's the box is an open like little visiting centre. That's ace. I look forward to seeing when the box goes in. So station. You've got zones and stuff here as well. So there's the zone markers on platform. On the other side, there's the old water tower there, which is now these days a toilet. So rather fitting that it's still a water tower. But yeah, if you fancy a brew, the cafe's there as well. It is very appropriate, Ian. Yeah, you're right. Spot on, it's appropriate. There we go. So yeah, you can come get yourself a brew from the station cafe as well. Make sure you put your handbrake on though when you come to the station. You don't be rolling down that hill. So as you'll notice, obviously, Jack, what is the exact year that the route's set in, by the way? Just so I make sure. I mentioned was it 21, sort of 22, but as you'll notice, there is COVID postering on this route because it is set around that time. So you will see like social distancing side of things and stuff on this route as it is in that period. But obviously we did put Quidhampton into the route, even though it's usable, but it's slightly out. But we wanted to have it in there. It made sense. Can it be the routes different? Well, it is era specific, unfortunately. So they're there. It was mostly 21. If Jack's happy to do new posters, then fair enough. I mean, poster's a poster at the end of the day. It's fitting to the era. For me, it's fitting in that era. It is what it is. Any ideas on how much it will cost? At the moment, nothing has been put in place on that side of things. We will put all that information out when it comes near to the time of the route's release, but we're not in that area for the release just yet, so it's a bit of time off on that one. Later into the year, we should be able to share all that side of information when it comes up to the time. Stream walkway down there. So line to the left goes to Eastleigh. Scenery only goes so far currently on the curve. That'll come in time. So obviously you'll not see that until it's finished down that way. Need a passenger asset with face mask. Would be fitting. For me, I've never been on this route in real life. I've never travelled down here. It's not the first time I've driven the route. I've drove the route before it came to just trains. Before Jack approached us with it. But as I said at the beginning of the stream, the route has changed massively since I last played it. A lot of stuff's changed, a lot of asset changing and track changes. It's all been changed to the JT track and many other things. The full route, Southampton to Bournemouth route, has been re-signalled as well to JT signalling, so it all goes together in line. If I'm ever around in that area, I will definitely take a look. Oh, will be re-signalled. Have you not done it? Oh yeah, I thought you'd done it. It will be though. It's not yet, it will be. There's been a YouTube question, let me repost it. Anyone that's on YouTube watching, chat's not working unfortunately, but Prof's just put it through. So Phoenix 77, will graphics and details be on par with the current Southampton Bournemouth route? Yes, everything is definitely in line. If not, probably might be even better, dare I say. There's probably more detail to be fair. But the general foliage side of things is consistent throughout, so in that respect, foliage and bits of trackside grass and stuff like that is literally, it will sort of like be consistently the same through the route, so you'll not really notice massive difference on that side of things. But trackside clutter's probably a lot more on this part. But either won't be out of place from each other. Excellent, no problem at all, Phoenix. Like I say, if you are having trouble because the messages are coming through, if you want to come and join us on Twitch, the chat's working there. I do apologise for anyone on YouTube that's messages are not coming through. I'm not ignoring you, they just don't seem to be popping up. So it's something I'll have to look into for next stream. It did vaguely work at one point because Prof tried it and it worked. So we're storming towards Southampton, which is our next stop, which is our last stop really. We're not going to drive through to St Denis because at the minute there's a big hole where the station needs to be. So DTG's version of the station, it wasn't a custom, it was just kit bashed assets to make a representation of the station. We're going to have an all new custom station for that. That will come in due course. That when we come to drive that section of the route, it'll be in there. Charles Johnson and also Rylan Wallace. Thank you very much for the like on Facebook. Hope you are doing very well. Total line length is 36 miles altogether. It was down as 33, but Quidhampton has been added, so that added another 3 miles to the route length. Evening, Volvo. Not always, Joseph, no. Oh, pause. Sorry. What's up here? Oh, is it these ones that I was just looking at? Oh, sorry. I didn't realise. I totally missed that. We'll have to look again. I presume there's no more of them. My bad, I didn't see. We'll do it again one day. Class 205, with DTG being bought out, will it mean the end of TSW and TS Classic? I don't think so. I don't think so. We're still working on Train Sim World, our upcoming add-on. DTG is still operating as they are. We are in contact with DTG on a regular basis, and we was in contact with Matt Peddleston today over stuff regarding our upcoming project. So no, everything's still the same as it was. Nothing's changed. They've just been bought by a publishing company, as far as I think is what it is. So I think it's business as usual at DTG. That's as the way I see it. Phoenix, I believe it's on the 27th, I think. Is it on Thursday, the update? I think. The core update that's coming. Which I'm looking forward to seeing. So yeah, by Thursday, by coming the weekend and that, be interested to see how the game plays. There have been some slight changes here as well, hasn't there, Jack? Would you like to just talk us through what you did here? Because it has slightly changed, hasn't it? To accommodate, is it a new sort of track layout? So, freight layout's been remodelled here. I mean, I couldn't tell you what it looked like before. You'd have to go and have a look and then obviously visualise this and compare. There you go, extra sidings. So yeah. There you go. Quite right, Ian, I agree. Let's go back and show you the bridge. Yes, yeah, it was the bridge that was sorry, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, we're on DTG's part of the route now, so for the most part, obviously, there's nothing been really changed with the scenery. Track and signals, the main thing. There's been a couple of additions and that, little bits here and there that have been changed, but a few little new additions, but it's mainly is as it is. One thing that has been added here was a load of containers down the sides, which were missing, so just put those in. Nothing's impossible on Train Sim World. You can put the detail in. I can assure you can put the detail in because we're putting the detail in. That's as much as I can say, but the detail that we're putting in hopefully will be something to be excited about. Nothing's impossible. You can do anything. Might want to look at that signal, Jack. If you just make a note, E5 757. Remember the guy on the right, sidings exit. Oh yeah. This is the first time I've seen this, Jack. He's having a cigarette break. He's got a little smoke emitter. Says. Just a little bit of detail. It might be. It's hidden. It's just cold. All he's doing is just breathing out cold air. Ways and means. I forget which station this is. Oh yeah. Does this station have signage? Where are we here? What is it? Millbrook, does this actually not have station signage? Like, has it ever had signage? No, I never noticed that. Make a note of that. That's gonna need some signs. Unless they're in the. I'd honestly, as well, probably just checking the actual route signage list. It might be there and they've just never been put in. But yeah, I would make a note of that because that's probably gonna need some signs doing. There might be some in the list, mate. Should be worth having a quick look. Love him. There's the picture. Jack's put the picture in. He looks cold. We're excited to share it with you as well, Nigel. We're itching at the bit to tell you what it is. I'm on the normal headset tonight, not on the big microphone, so it will sound a little bit different. No, something's wrong with the messaging on the chat system. It doesn't seem to be working. I don't know why, but I will look into it for the next stream. It were working sort of earlier. Someone checked it for me, but then it stopped working again. So I don't quite know what's going on. So I'll have a look into it. Everything's connected. All the input channels are showing as connected. It's just for some strange reason not actually coming through. Anyone that's in the different channels, I do apologise. I'm not ignoring it. It just doesn't seem to be working as it normally does. But it's one to check out. Why does that one have strips on it? Where are we looking here? That one. That's not a SPAD indicator, is it? Oh, it is a SPAD indicator. It's a high risk SPAD. So it's a normal signal. It's telling you it's a high risk area, basically. Because normal SPAD indicators are obviously the double reds, aren't they, that flash when you go through it, and they obviously say SPAD indicator on them. The Diamond X means don't use. Oh, does that mean don't use the signal phone? Hello, Darko. Do you know what we'll do? We'll just drive through St Denis. We might as well do. Just ignore the gap in the station. We'll drive through and just finish the scenario properly. Might as well do. Gives you a bit more viewing pleasure. I will tab. I'll ensure. Also, other edition. What can you see? Who knows what's different? Actually, there's two editions here. There we go. High power AWS. The green AWS magnets. And also, to be fair, there's actually them as well. GSMR signage. So there is two. But no, yeah, the high power AWS is there. Salisbury to Exeter when? There's nothing on plans of any extensions at this moment in time. I don't know if there'll be any extensions or not. That'll all go down, and obviously if Jack decides to want to take it further, of course, as well, and all that jazz. But at the minute there's no plans. Oh yeah, there'll be different destinations due to the different units. So obviously, yeah, we're not going to Holyhead, but unfortunately, one code and one train will be different to the other. So yeah. So they could both have. One could be A and one could be D. So basically, you'll have different. Southampton Tunnel. Oh God. I'd love to see it. I would personally myself would love to see down to Westbury. Sizing them with Swexer. But no, at the minute obviously there's nothing in the pipeline, but if that ever happens, then obviously you guys will know about it. It all just depends on what the future beholds, really. Gotta get this one out first. VMS here too. Whereabouts? I've not gone past one, have I? No. Presume around here, is it? I'm assuming it's down there. Eastleigh itself is exciting. Oh, I've missed the Eddie West. Sorry, guys. Was it in front of the train? Was it? Oh, it's there. Better. I didn't see it because I was flying around. One job. You're right. So, who was asking before the dock down here, the extent of the scenery goes to about here. So you can obviously at the moment you can at least have a scenario start around here, and obviously you can drive in this bit. But yeah, the actual dock area itself most likely won't feature on this at the minute. Might come later on down the line. We'll see. But at the moment it's not priority for this route. So it's not this signal one after tab, am I right? Didn't miss that one. So the other thing that's been done on the route is a rework of the signage. So it now uses the signs out of our common library. So it's new models, which you see on the MML and other routes, but obviously you've got the additions now. We've got stuff like the HST boards on there. So this is approved to come through here. Yeah, I wasn't looking. I was flying around looking for a signal, and then went past it, and then got caught with AWS. I couldn't cancel it in time. Expertly driven-ish, almost expertly driven. Just don't tell Scott. So yeah, station, as you see at the minute, bit of a gap. New model will be coming down the line in due course. The line for our route will be the one that continues onwards down to Eastleigh. Oh, it's off. Oh yeah, Jack, yeah, and as well, Jack has relayed the track around here. There we go. Well done. You've reached the end of the scenario. Just let it drive. But I hope you enjoyed that. Look into the route in its current form, what's going on. So, as you can see, the scenery on that full section was all there. Just a couple of small bits, like Salisbury Station still has some stuff to be done, and there was a signal box at Romsey. Romiley. Which one is it? Romsey into Romiley's on Hope Valley. But yeah, it's going on. So the sections still to be done, of course, are from Romsey through to Eastleigh and back to meet up with St Denny's basically. And I'm going to end there because we'll just go flying off the track if I don't. But no, thank you, and thank you for all the questions and any bits of feedback that you've put in there. Obviously, not as long as our normal stream, but we just wanted to show you off something a little bit new and upcoming. So the route itself will be later this year. It's meant to be down for, so obviously keep your eye out on it. Keep an eye on the Facebook page and our in development stuff. That will have new stuff over the coming months. That's the link that I've just put the link into the chat for anyone that's in the Twitch chat. If you're not on Twitch and you're watching on YouTube and that, if you head to the Just Trains page at the top, click in development, and you'll find the route in there. You'll also find the Peak Forest route in there as well. Hopefully we'll get that on here at some point soon enough. When we, ideally, once the scenery gets to Buxton, we can do something with that, even if it ain't quite finished on one of the other lines. Yeah, we'll be able to do something with that. But I think there is a development blog coming for Peak Forest this week, all being well. I believe that's been sent over, so that should be something to see later this week, all being well. If it don't come up this week, it'll be probably beginning next week, but no, there is stuff coming. Statue at Buxton. Now, when you say statue at Buxton, what do you mean statue at Buxton? Do you mean the like nuts and bolts person on the station that made out of metalwork? Made out of signals and stuff like that. I think that is actually going to be there. We've seen it and it has been spoken about, so I hope that comes. If it doesn't, I'll be pushing for it to be done because it's quite a cool little creation that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Again, cheers as well, Jack, in the chat, and cheers for anyone that's asking any questions. Before we go, if there's anything else you want to ask, anything in general, is anything you want to ask us, I'll hang around for a moment before we do disappear. But no, other than that, thank you. It's great to see so many of you have popped in this evening to take a look. Hugely appreciated. But yeah, again, next month our next stream will be on. Let's have a look. Where are we? So the next stream will be on the 30th of June. 30th of June. Not sure what we'll be doing there. There may well be something else new that we can do. There's some other bits and pieces that aren't on the in development page, so there is other new things coming that we just haven't listed yet. So keep your eye out. But yeah, no. If there's no more questions, thank you very much, and yeah, appreciate it. All the best, guys. Take it easy. May. No, yeah, sorry, May, not June. May. I've skipped past the month. No, it will be 30th of May. Sorry. Tuesday the 30th. That's my fault. That I've skipped a little bit too far. It said June at top. Yeah, other than my slight miss up there. Thank you. I'll leave you in peace anyway. Now, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you next month for the next JT stream. Take care. Bye for now.